assignments, I didn't have somebody standing there saying, Hanson, go get a haircut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What else can I say about it? And basically, I think I probably kept my mouth somewhat shut. I never denied that I'd been to Vietnam, but I never talked about it because nobody wanted to hear about it anyway. Now, my first experience with an American civilian on the coming back after my third tour in Vietnam was at the air base out in California, where I was discharged from active duty. We all were in our uniforms, of course, waiting for the bus that was going to take us to the downtown to get to the airport to fly home. And I had seen other GIs that were officers and enlisted men that were going home, and everybody had the little Samsonite briefcase, little thin job, black plastic, hard plastic, and an aluminum frame. I guess it's aluminum. Anyway, everybody had one, and about all you could get in there was an electric razor and your orders and maybe a pack of cigarettes. Okay. And I asked somebody, just before I was ready to go home, I said, why is everybody carrying these little attaché cases? He says, they're a self-defense weapon against the hippies when you get to California. Well, I found out he was right. Because a bunch of us were, again, I've already been sworn out. So it's my last thing. I've got my money and I've got my papers and I've got my little attaché case because I bought one because I was told I needed to. Okay. And we're lined up waiting for the bus. And just before the buses pull in, they have to open the gates. And when they open the gates, these massive, the great unwashed came charging in the gate. It's the only time they could get in because the rest of the time there were soldiers there guarding those gates. And they started spitting at us and so forth. Now, I've never been spit at it before in my life or since, but that's why we carried the attaché cases. It took me a long while to get the blood off my attaché case because we used them as a weapon. We weren't allowed to carry guns or knives. So there were moments, but I rented a car out there in California, and I went all over. I'd always wanted to see things like Yosemite and the Redwoods and Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I didn't go there in uniform, of course. I was a civilian now, and I wore civilian clothing. But there's a certain way a soldier walks and so forth. People would know. And after that one incident there with the hippies at Travis, I think is it Travis? I can't remember. I'm sorry on that one. But I got out to the airport, and of course there's a military thing there, as there always is at a major airport for soldiers and sailors. I went up there, they directed me how I would get my tickets and get on the plane and this, that, and the other thing, and took care of me. It was very nice. Of course, they were soldiers. But I decided I wanted to see California. This was my one chance. So I got to a phone booth and I started trying to rent a car. Well, unfortunately, I wasn't yet 25, and I'd never had a credit card in my life. But I had probably close to $20,000 in my pocket, cash. So I called